This community was created for you, forward-thinking leaders and operators looking to optimize your business systems, implement sustainable frameworks, and grow alongside other purpose-driven organizations. And in Alan's words, in short, this community was created to help you do business better. Quite frankly, I think that's pretty much, isn't it? Take your business further, farther, faster. Tonight's session will introduce you to key concepts that drive operational clarity and cohesion, from vision and traction to a deeper dive into core values that shape thriving community cultures. My apologies. We'll hear from Willy, we'll hear from Hector, and although we'd like you to stay muted during the presentation, we do encourage you to engage by submitting questions that you might have on the Zoom chat. Willy will also be moderating the Q&A at the end of the call, so feel free to chime in there, put your questions in there, put your comments in there, and they'll be addressed at the end of the call during that time. So you know what is true? There's a phrase, and it's true, and it goes like this: the note takers are the money makers. Has anybody ever heard that? So I hope that you've got a notepad and you've got a pen, because I know that these guys are going to deliver more meat per minute than most people do, and it's going to be good, solid stuff. So shut off your distractions and let's get started. So welcome again, everyone. Willy Schmidt is a visionary entrepreneur with a proven track record of building a successful and highly profitable trucking company from the ground up. It's not easy to do. With firsthand experience growing a startup into a thriving business of 100 employees, Willy brings invaluable insights into achieving sustainable growth and success. Willy, can't wait to hear what you got for us. I know you're itching to go, so it's over to you.
Thank you so much, Alan. Hey, good evening, everyone, and thank you for being here tonight. I am thrilled to have you join us because we have a special gift to share with you. You're here tonight because you're probably feeling a little stuck in some areas of business. Everybody on this call wants to go to another level of profitability, and everybody wants another level of productivity in their business. And if that is, you are in the right place. Something that you might want to know about me is I did not take the traditional approach to business. I didn't go to college and I didn't go to university. But you know what I do have? I got the bumps and bruises and scrapes from the school of hard knocks. And I know where the rubber meets the road. And so I am going to share or to walk you through today some real world solutions for real world problems I face and that you are likely facing. And let's face it, your business is stuck. And if your business is stuck, it's going backwards. And if your business is going backwards, your business is dying. Now that's harsh. I know, because I have been there and it happened to me. If you are anything like I used to be, there are days you likely feel you're running your business in reverse. But here's the good news. I am going to share the lesson learned that flipped the script for me in my business. These aren't magic tricks or overnight solutions. These are real strategies that work. And I promise they'll make sense, and I promise they will make a difference. Some of you might think I'm reading from the script tonight. If you think that, you're right. I want to make sure that I get to deliver you so much value tonight that I don't want to take the risk of winging it. By the end of this call, you will know 3 core competencies to make your business not just work, but work better. Why don't we grab a virtual coffee and let's dive into core competency 1. Vision. You must have a clear vision, and no, I'm not talking about goals. I am talking about vision. Now, there's a lot of talk out there about purpose, vision, and goals. Our system includes purpose and goals in the vision. In fact, we have 5 key elements that make up your vision. And the 5 elements are: identify your core values, Have a clear purpose statement, set a long-term target, develop a marketing strategy, and create a 3-year plan. Once these 5 elements are established, the vision is set. When you can cast a clear vision, the vision is easy to catch. When your team catches the vision, they buy into the vision and they go further for you. Vision isn't just a statement on your website, it's a living, breathing story you tell every day. As a leader, it's up to you to tell that story so clearly and so compellingly that your team sees themselves in it. And when that happens, you know your vision is working. Every decision in your business needs to be measured against the vision and made in alignment with the vision. Without clear vision, you will chase opportunities that aren't really aligned with your goals. You will waste time and you won't even realize it. Clarity isn't just nice to have, it's foundational. If you need help, you are not alone. Most business owners need help in this area. I was in the same position, unsure where to start. Even after I created the vision, I didn't know what to do next. And that's where our optimized business system program comes in. It's designed to help you create a clear vision and transform your business. With the right tools and guidance, you can align your team, simplify operation, and achieve your goals. Your business deserves clarity and purpose. Invest in your vision, and success will follow. Core competency number 2, structure. Imagine you're trying to build a skyscraper, but you don't have a blueprint or scaffolding to hold it up. Not how far do you think you'll go? Not very far. A solid structure needs to be built on a firm foundation. Vision, as we just talked about, is your firm foundation. Structure is the backbone of your operation. It's the rebar and cement that makes your skyscraper stand. Without structure, you're always having to prop up what's falling apart. Scrambling, putting out fires, adjusting, readjusting, and making everything up as you go. You're reactive instead of proactive, always fixing yesterday instead of building a better tomorrow. It's exhausting. Structure comes down to 2 things: systems and processes. Simply put, systems are the tools that help you save time. Perhaps it's an operating system that provides clarity on team roles and responsibilities. Maybe it's more effective meetings that don't waste time. Or maybe it's a scorecard system that would release you from the need to be such a control freak. Processes, on the other hand, are about consistencies. You should have a proven process that allows anyone to complete important tasks when the person responsible is away, perhaps sick or on vacation. Example of such processes from my business include dispatching, quoting, and even customer service, just to name a few. When you come into our program, we will help you identify your processes and teach you how to use the tools required to build. Take a moment right now to identify one routine in your business that feels disorganized. Do it now. Write it down. Is it invoicing, accounts receivables / collections? Maybe it is internal communication. Whatever it might be, write it down. Great. Congratulations on writing something down. If you are anything like me, you might be asking yourself, how do I fix the broken process I just identified? Great question. You should be asking that question, and we can help you fix that process and the other problems you might have. That's why you're on this call today. A link will be provided for you at the end of this call. Clicking that link is your next best step to solve your problems and optimizing your business. Are you ready for number 3? Too bad I can't see you guys all. Good. Core competency number 3, personal growth. Now, this one might surprise you, and it might hit close to home because it's not just about your business. It's about you. Your business can only grow to the level that you are at. In his book, The 21 Laws of Leadership, author John Maxwell identifies this as the law of the lid. Maxwell uses the metaphor of the lid to present the limit on a person's potential. The higher the leadership ability, the higher the lid, and the greater the potential for success. A leader's lid not only impacts their followers, but impacts the whole organization. In organization, effectiveness is ultimately limited by the capabilities of its leader. Don't dismiss personal growth as a cliche. If you do, you are likely never achieve the level of success you want, need, and deserve in any area of life, not just in business. You can't expect your business to grow if you don't grow. Your business is a reflection of you. If you don't work to elevate your mindset, refine your skills, and improve how you show up each day, you eventually hit a ceiling, and a low ceiling at that. I hope you can stand it. If you want lasting, sustaining success, you have to develop the owner before the business. Here is an example from my own life. There was a time when I thought the problem in my business was my wife. I thought it was my employees. And it's hard to find good employees, right? I thought it was the government and the economy, the industry I was in. But in reality, it was me. It was my lack of leadership. And I didn't know what I didn't know. My effectiveness was capped because my lid was limited. Once I invested in myself, attending courses, workshops, and yes, even therapy and coaching, everything shifted for me. I learned the hard way that my business will only grow proportionally to the level of my growth. The same is true for you and your business. For years, I believe I had all the answers and needed to have all the answers. I ran every part of my business, handled the tough decisions, and assumed my perspective was the only one that mattered. I was convinced being in charge meant always being right. Can you relate? But that mindset cost me more than I could have imagined. My wife, the person who had been my biggest supporter, had reached her breaking point. And I was so consumed with the problems of the business, I never left the business at the business, meaning I took my work and all the issues, my business, home with me. The work-life balance I thought entrepreneurship promised me always seemed to be just out of reach. Entrepreneurship wasn't proving to be not all I thought it was cracked up to be. She felt unheard and dismissed and unappreciated. I didn't notice the cracks forming in our relationship because I was too busy I believing I had it all figured out or had to figure it out on my own. Her frustrations escalated to the point where she told me she couldn't do it anymore and she wanted out. I could have ignored her and carried on as usual. I was tempted to, but when she said, "We are going to Montana for marriage counseling," there was something in her voice I couldn't brush off. It wasn't a request or a suggestion. It was final notice. Although I realized this issue could cost me my marriage, this slap in the face also made me realize I could lose my business and everything I was working so hard for. I hoped this would fix my marriage, but couldn't imagine how it would fix my business. Though I walked into that counseling session brimming with skepticism, I thought, what could these sessions possibly tell me I don't already know? Those few days in Montana flipped my world upside down. For the first time, I had to stop talking and truly listen to my wife, to the counselor, and to myself. I, the reality hit me hard. My pride wasn't a sign of strength. It was a barrier, one that had been eroding the foundation of my marriage, in the foundation of my business. Through those sessions, I learned how to communicate without defensiveness, how to value my wife's opinion, and how to work as a team again, not just in our business, but in our home. That trip didn't just save my marriage, it changed the way I lead both my family and my business. And that's when I finally began to set my business and every other area of my life on a firm foundation. To every business owner out there who's caught up in the hustle, who's convinced their vision is the only vision that matters, hear this. If your partner tells you something is wrong, don't wait until it's too late to listen. And don't wait until it's too late to learn. It's not easy to admit you're wrong or lacking or don't know what you don't know, but it's worth it. The trip to Montana saved my life in more ways than one. It reminded me that success isn't just about growing your business, it's about growing yourself and nurturing the relationships that matter most. Ask yourself this question and be honest. How much time are you spending improving you? Not your logo or your website, but you. This could be reading books such as The Road Less Stupid or The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, learning how to lead yourself better. Taking a weekend off to recharge and think strategically, and maybe even invest in a coach or strategic thinking partner. Remember, your best asset isn't your people, it's you. A couple tips. Surround yourself with people who challenge you. Join masterminds, find mentors who are a few steps ahead of you. You'd be surprised how quickly you grow just by being in the right room. If you are the most successful person in the room, you're in the wrong room. It's not only important what you learn, but who you learn it from. All right, so there you have it. 3 core competencies to make your business better: vision, structure, and personal growth. Remember, I said at the beginning that if you are stuck, you are dying. I know that what I am talking about. At one time back in 2018, I lost $1.3 million on the bottom line. I was stuck and I was dying. In 2019, we made $1.4 million. That was a 1-year turnaround of $2.7 million. I didn't go from dying to surviving. I kept going and went from dying to thriving, eventually selling the business for an amount well into the 8 figures. In fact, the number is big enough that if I told you what it was, some of you would believe me. But for those dying to know, let's just say well over 25 million. And I did it by working through the 3 core competencies I outlined for you here. If you feel stuck, overwhelmed, or frustrated, you are not. We have all been there. I have been there. You do have the power to turn things around. You just need some help. The best way you can help yourself turn things around and achieve the success you want is to work through the Optimized Business System program. Don't be left alone in this. If you could do it on your own, you already have it done on your own. And if have the results you want. But if you don't, this is your invitation to be part of our private community as an inner circle member. Being an inner circle member ensures you don't get lost in a big group of people, but gives you optional personal access to me and my partner for individual help. In the chat box, there's going to be a link that will take you to a landing page. That landing page will give you all the information you need, answers in the questions you have, and give you the opportunity to be part of our private community inner circle free for 14 days. Remember, the partner I mentioned, the partner you would have access to, it's a pleasure for me to finally introduce my partner, Hector. Hector was key in helping me turn my business around, moving us from pain to profit. Hector, I couldn't have done it without you. Over to you.
And thanks, Willie. Appreciate it. And what a story, to take us back in time into the time at your company at Willie's Trucking, where it was quite the overhaul that we needed to endure. For those of you that are new to the call that I've never met, pleasure to meet you. Welcome to be here tonight. It's great to have you. And now the points that Willie talked about, they aren't just theory. These points are reality, folks. They're key, and I've seen them. I've lived them. and I've actually led through them. Through my career, I've had the great fortune of working for Fortune 500 companies and smaller environments. But I can tell you, I know what works, I know what doesn't work, and I know how to rebuild broken businesses. I've had a great time in doing so for over 30 years. And the latest turnaround, I know Brandon is on the call. We had a great time with his business as we turned that around. But the one that was truly impactful, as we talked about back in 2018, that turnaround story at Willy's Trucking, where we had over $1 million in losses, broken systems, broken morale, no clear execution to path. And that turnaround of $2.7 million is a phenomenal story, where we had that swing to profitability. And when we talk about those core competencies that Willie's mentioned, it starts with vision, right? And vision is really what drives to performance. And this isn't just slapping a vision statement, putting it on the wall, and that's it, and it's done. That's not what we're here to do. We're here to help you define truly what that vision is. And it's ensuring that your business, as owners and as leaders in your business, you truly understand what are the core values. How do you use the core values? How do you implement them? How do you create them? And then ultimately, how do they become so ingrained in the DNA of your organization, of your teams, ultimately of everyone within your organization? And then create that purpose statement, right? We talk about purpose. You need to ensure that everybody understands where they're going and how they're going to get there. Your organization isn't going to become magical and isn't going to become successful, again, by just saying you want to be. That is hard work. And knowing that purpose and that grind is going to be coming at you is something that you're going to need to establish, something that you're going to need to communicate, and again, motivate your team to be able to accomplish. We talked about that long-term target, and that's setting that 10-year, 5-year vision and understanding of what it's going to take to get there. A marketing strategy that evolves and that is fluid with time, with market conditions, with different challenges that come your way. We will have the tools that will enable you as leaders to be able to create those, put them into use, and really become successful at applying them. We talk about a 3-year picture, and remembering that 3-year picture also has within that a 1-year and quarterly reviews that come with that. So with alignment creates momentum. So it's critical that we understand that, right? Like we talk about vision, but vision is so much more powerful than that. So we like to talk about the core competencies that make up vision, and we break them down and give you the tools to do. But here's where I have the most fun and what I like, and that's competency number 2, and that's structure. So this is like where I like turning visionary ideas into dependable systems. Real repeatable processes. So we talk about scorecards, and not just, okay, here's your number for the month, go chase this. It's understanding what's your daily metric, what's your weekly metric, your monthly, your quarterly, and having the valid and check-in rhythms for those points to be measured, to be spoken to, and critically to have accountability. How many times have you been part of a team where you go to a meeting and you talk nonsense? I can relate to that. I've been there and I get so frustrated. I want to know who did what, who didn't do it, and what's going to be the outcome when those people don't complete the task. And all at the same time, I want to be able to celebrate wins for those individuals that have completed their tasks and that are moving the business forward. Recently, I had a story come my way about accountability. There was an individual in an organization that was tasked to go complete a quote, and the individual didn't complete the quote because he just didn't feel like it. And I can tell you that would fly in my organization, and I hope it doesn't fly in yours. But we will show you methods of how to hold accountability the right way, because you're not just going to fire everybody that doesn't do their to-dos or doesn't complete their tasks. There needs to be boundaries. There needs to be communication, setting up people the right way and allowing them to have success. But a lot of this is for the purpose of having less chaos, which will equal more consistency. More consistency creates wins and ultimately gets you to the next level of where you want to be for your organization. So remember that if you're constantly reacting, there's one thing that you're missing, and that is structure. So we will certainly help you with that. In my experience, I can tell you it's what's allowed me to really also win into core competency number 3, which is personal growth. Willy talked about his experience and how it really guided him to change his mentality and to just be more transparent and more evolved in his way of thinking. For me, that consistency in the structure allowed me to create personal growth in my own health. I was not too long ago a pretty overweight individual with like minutes away from having a heart attack. And getting structure back in my life allowed me to go back to the gym, prioritize my eating habits, prioritize what was important to me and my health and my family. And having that personal growth has also allowed me to become very successful in business coaching and allowing and leading others. Because if I'm not growing, how can I lead others to where we want to go? Growth is personal and it is essential. If you're not learning, you're going to be kept out, right? As Willy has mentioned earlier. So invest in yourself, invest in coaching, invest in feedback and mentorship. All these things are super important if you're truly serious about leading and about taking your business to the next level. So bottom line, right? Vision equals clear destination. Think of it as a roadmap, right? Like you're going to go set to go visit something or go to a certain place. You're going to put it on your GPS map, right? Google Maps or whatever. But that's your vision. Structure is that reliable vehicle that's going to get you from point A to B. And that's where we ensure that your vehicle is steady, that your vehicle has the tune-ups, that has the check-in points, that has the support and systems that's going to get you to your vision. And then the fuel for your journey is your personal growth. If you're not lighting a fire under your ass and getting yourself going, how are you going to motivate others? How are you going to create that sense of urgency in your organization? So we're going to help give you the tools that will also provide you personal growth and get you there as well. So remember that stuck isn't permanent, but staying stuck is certainly a choice. So welcome for being here tonight. We're excited to have our launch call. We're super excited about our platform and inviting you all into our community. We're going to be hosting these Zoom calls every week where we're going to dive into specific courses and specific tools within our toolbox. And Willy's now going to share with us what that community platform looks like to give you a tour of what we've built over the last few months. We'll pass it back to you, Willy.
Just sharing my screen here right now. Can you see it now?
Yeah, I can. Yes.
You can see it?
Yes. Oh, Alan, you're on mute. Oh, there you go.
I can see it.
Perfect. And let's just check, make sure one of the attendees can see it as well. Alex, can you hear me?
I can see you, Willy.
Okay,
I can hear you, Willy. I can see it. Yeah.
Is my
Perfect.
microphone working now?
Yeah.
It is. Welcome, James.
It took me a while to figure it out. I don't use this a lot.
Very good. Awesome. Hector, take it away. And
Absolutely. So we've created this really cool online community that is at the current state available through any sort of laptop, mobile device. Will be coming within 30 days, and the application will be available to all of your cell phones. But the community, in essence, is very much and works like a social media platform. It has the ability for you to interact with other community members, similarly as you would with an Instagram or Facebook. So it has that feel to it. You can post pictures, you can post comments, you can post events, and you can post questions, which is something that we're all looking forward to seeing. And from an interaction standpoint, so the landing page would be, this is where you typically would come in. You would see any sort of comments and features regarding the members. We're going to put videos. We're going to put some comments through here that will allow direct traffic from this standpoint.
I'll maybe just walk through a little bit the tabs that we got here.
Yeah.
So first thing, you'll come in here, start here. We got a little introduction video in here, and we'll be posting more videos and stuff, what you need to know up front. And then we got the announcement. So whatever announcements we got, we'll be putting in here. And then we got our toolbox. And so here we'll be uploading a whole bunch of more tools that you will have access to. And then the next piece is we're going to share some of our favorite books, or our favorite books that we believe every business owner should read. So are quite a few books in here already. And then we're going to share the upcoming calls with the Zoom link in here. The next call is May 15th, 7 p.m. again, which is next Thursday. And then every call that we're doing like this and we're teaching will be recorded, and then we'll upload them in this record section. So you have access to all the calls afterwards. If for any reason you have to miss a call or whatever, you can go back here and watch it.
This will be, sorry, Willie, this will be important because as we get going and we get these calls every Thursday, we'll be specifically dialing into a teaching point where, as an example, we might present the tool that is a people analyzer. And we're going to talk about how do you analyze a good employee in your organization? How do you analyze an employee that may be not so good in your organization? And how do you address that? So we'll present the tool, we'll talk through it, the application, and then that will be recorded here so that you have access to come back to that.
Then the next tab up, or here up top, we have the discussion part. So everybody that's in our membership group can post in here. And here we want you to post whatever from your business, or you want to advertise even something in here. You can post almost anything in here, and all the people in the group will be able to see it. And people can directly message you if they're interested in chatting with you and that kind of stuff. And then the next tab is the learning tab. We got 2 courses uploaded right now in here. And Hector, maybe you can speak a little bit more what our plan is around here.
Yeah. So initially, we've got 2 courses to kick things off. These are tutorial videos that speak to specific pain points in your business. And we're going to be posting or dropping 1 course a week to allow the library to grow. The goal will be to have 52 active courses within the library through a year, so 1 course a week, and we'll be updating the content of that course throughout that year. So there will always be something new. There will always be something that you'll have access to and to learn from. And so we're pretty excited about these tutorial videos. And again, they'll have links to tools, applications in every single course.
My internet is a little slow here with Zoom and everything.
That's okay.
And so the next part is where the members will be all in. And here, just a quick example. Let's say if any of you want to chat with Hector directly, you can go in here, click on his profile, and chat with him directly, ask questions. So this will be available to every member that comes in here, and also vice versa with any other members in the group.
Yeah.
And then the event section, we got a calendar in here. And here you can just at a quick glance see when the next call is or whatever else we schedule on the event calendar. And Hector, maybe you can speak to a little bit what our plans are on some live events yet.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, today we're kicking off the platform launch, our weekly Zoom call. But the goal, folks, is to have a large and wide community where we can interact both virtually and in person. We will be ensuring that in the future we have live events, mastermind events where as a community we can meet, we can discuss, learn from each other. We'll be setting up full day sessions of specific training modules that are relevant to our business world. And so that's down the pipe, and that'll be a goal of ours to put in place. We'll be talking more about that as it progresses.
The next thing is the leaderboard here. Maybe you want to speak to that as well. Hector?
Yeah. So those of you that know me, I'm a little bit of a competitive guy. And so what we wanted to do was establish sort of gamified community so that the more you interact, the more that you take part of the community, you will earn sort of badges and points in here. And this will also then give you a ranking with the community. So, if you're a new member, you will easily be able to identify those that are active in the community and maybe those that have some really good best practices or that can share some information, and it'll make it visible for you to reach out to them quite easy as they'll be identified by their point system. The challenge goes out right away. I hate losing, so I'm going to be monitoring those that are not active, that are not participating. So we'll certainly see if we can make some challenging events and maybe put some carrots out there for those that earn more points. We will give you some rewards as we go and grow the community.
And then there's just the about page, a little bit more about us in here. And the next thing, did we want to show the tool a little bit, what we talked about, laying out your vision for the business and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about the OBS 90 tool.
Let me just get that started here.
So some of you have had the pleasure of using EOS in your business already. I know that from experience with those that are here. And what we've done is we've aligned ourselves with 90IO, and we have our own 90 platform that is branded with our community. It will be structured for us to be able to share with our community members. And this allows us the ability to customize and help your business independently. If you, we talked today about vision, you could go to the VTO tab and you could share, you could see how we will create and help you put together your core values, your purpose, your 3-year plan, and all of them being housed in one easy to have platform where you and your team members will be able to manage, compile the data, house it all in one, and really use it as your platform, your operating system per se, for your business and for your teams. Willy and I have had experience with this, and this was one of the tools that really allowed us to have some clear accountability, easily track who's doing what, assign to-dos, assign KPI owners, assign those metrics, and then we're able to monitor performance to those KPIs. So this is a tool that we're going to really show leaders and show business owners how to apply, how to create, and how to manage going forward for your organizations. And one thing that is important to note, it doesn't matter if you're like 5 people or 100. The tool itself is very applicable for all business sizes, but it's critical that you have a desire to want to be better and that you actually put the time and effort to make it work. So we will show you how to do all those things.
That covers it for me.
Yeah, Alan, I think we had a section here for Q&A. Love to hear some questions from the group about what we've talked about here tonight.
There's a question from me.
Yeah, go ahead, Alan.
Oh my goodness. So I actually directed this to Willy, but Hector, you can jump in as well, and you can follow along. It reads in the chat. It says, of the 3 core competencies you laid out for us tonight, Willy, is there a recommended order in which one would work through those core competencies, one being more important than the other? You have to get one done before the other. And is it possible to work on all 3 at the same time with the effectiveness? Or is it recommended you only do one at a time, waiting until you perfect the one before you move on to the other?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a very good question. Go ahead, Willie.
Good question. One thing, so I had vision and structure and personal growth in here. And what I look at now when I learned about the EOS tool and or the 90 tool and whatnot. So for me, that was the structure piece that I started out with and then learned how to build out a vision that had some structure to it and what had meaning to it and what I could communicate to the team. So to me, the vision piece is the number one piece to figure out, but then I like the tool to use that, build that out and create that structure around it.
Yeah.
And personal growth, I would say start reading books today.
Yeah. For me, I would say that from an implementer standpoint, and really that the vision component is so critical. If you don't know what you're trying to achieve, you won't know how to lead your people. You won't know how to really motivate them, because leadership is not just about, hey, we have to get this done my way. It's about engaging individuals to proactively work together to deliver that ultimate goal. And without a clear vision, a clear path, and a clear roadmap, you're not going to get consistency. You're not going to be able to create scorecards. You're not going to be able to create accountability, because it doesn't matter. You don't even know where you're going. You could be going backwards as far as.
Alex has posted a great question. I love it because it's applicable to me. Now, Hector, you did say not long ago that it doesn't matter if you have 5 employees or whatever, 50 or 500. But Alex asked, is there a path in this program for solopreneurs?
Yes, absolutely there is. Because at this point, with the tools that we're going to help you, they're going to ensure that it keeps your solo businessship, your solo entrepreneurship in line with your goals. And there's going to be a sense of accountability to yourself. And it's going to give you the tools in where you can create a scorecard. You can create check-ins that allow you to know if your business is staying healthy. And ultimately, are you focusing on the right things, right? And being part of this community, whether you're a one-man show or one-person show, it will allow you access to interact with other business owners and get best practices, understand some pain points, understand some growth learnings. So whether you're 1 or 100 organization, you're going to learn something by being part of the community.
Yeah, good. I appreciate that. Alex, does that hopefully answer your question for you and anyone else? Anyone else?
Now, the other thing I did want to touch on is that we're also really excited about not just entrepreneurs and business owners, but this is critical for those leaders in organizations. You might be thinking today as an entrepreneur, this is great, but how do I tap this into like my next level management leaders in my organization? And so I want to speak to those that are on the call. If you're currently a leader, a manager, a GM, or in that sort of role where you're leading and managing other people, this is what you want to tap into, because this is a free space for where you can ask the dumb questions and you're not going to get judged by your peers at work. This is a spot where you could learn from others that are going through the same challenges as you. And it gives you the access to like-minded individuals, those that are going through the same challenges, those maybe that who had already had success in where you may be having issues. So again, it's that aspect of the community that I really want to stress, and to all layers. This isn't just for business owners. This is for all of those that want their business to do better.
See, Brandon has his hand up. Do you want Brandon just to chime in vocally, verbally?
Wanted to
Brandon.
keep it professional. I wanted to know, what I know you, Hector, and I know about Willie through you, and I know that neither of you guys need to do this for money. So I want to know what inspired you guys to want to do this, build this community, and share what you know with other entrepreneurs, and just what makes you guys want to do this.
Yeah, I'll let you go first, Willie, and then I'll answer.
My short answer is I wanted to have a reason to get out of bed in the morning. Honestly, I wanted to find myself where I was thriving to make a difference in this world. And this is where I felt like I could bring the most value to people in the business community. It's where I love to live, and that's what drives me each day. So I for the longest time, what I feared the most was just what we're doing right now, talking in front of a camera. I've really had to work hard on me to come out of my shell and be willing to share it with the world. But now that we're here, I keep telling Hector, I'm getting more excited as we go on here. So I'm happy we're finally doing it. And then yes, that's the big reason here is, yeah, I think we're going to help a lot of business owners.
Yeah, and that hits to our core value number one for us, Brandon, and it is to help others. I'm really passionate about developing future leaders, and not just business leaders, but leaders in general. Growing up, and I know I've shared this story with you, Brandon, with you, Willie. I'm a downtown East Side guy from the East Vancouver, and not having direction could have led me in a really bad path as a youth. And so I was very glad to have leadership and having structure. And I want to be able to share that for that next generation of business owners and business leaders, and to have the ability to help them overcome tough challenges. Because a lot of times I've been that middle manager, I've been the executive in businesses, and I felt stuck and I felt, who do I go to? I can't go to my boss because it's going to reflect bad on my skill set potentially. And so being able to coach those individuals in those spots is going to be a great honor for me to help them overcome the challenges that I had to overcome during those things. And then as I became part of a shareholder and became part of running my own businesses, I took all those experiences and applied them into that business world. And it's another level of learning. It's another level of pain points that you have to overcome at that point. And so for me, being able to talk through it, being able to help others is really what motivates me.
Cool.
Are you ready
One
for another
follow
question?
up. Just quick follow up for Willie there. If the person's on the top of the leaderboard, do they get a ride in a sports car or a helicopter or anything like that? Is that on the radar?
That's what we've been talking about. I think the first guy getting to level 10 might have that opportunity.
No, I like the sounds of that.
There you go. Brandon is going to be going on that helicopter ride or the plane ride, whichever one. Willie's got both.
Now, Brandon has another question, and it's directed to you, Willie, and it stated, Willie, what was the turning point in your trucking company when things turned around, and how long until you felt like things were on a good path?
Just looking for the question here too. Sorry, what was?
Now that question pops up in the Q&A. So Willie, at the bottom of your screen, if you have a Q&A, click on it, you'll see it there. And it's, what was the turning point in your trucking company when things turned around? How long till you felt like things were on a good path?
Yeah, good question. What I remember when we started implementing this structure that me and Hector are going to teach in the group, there was about 5 to 6 months into structuring our business where I started seeing a little light at the end of the tunnel. But by the time it really was implemented throughout our business was like just over a year that we were really gaining traction. And that's when we started seeing that we were able to make profit. And so, yeah, from starting and when we started implementing, our company size was like employee size, we were right around 95 employees, I think. And so it took us a good year and a half to implement the system. And that's when we saw the biggest growth spurt and also success with it.
May I ask another question?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'm curious about, is there such a thing as a business that's too far gone for your system to help? Maybe somebody's on the verge of thinking, man, maybe this is it for me. I'm going to declare bankruptcy and close up shop. It's not. When you talk about, Will, you talked about being stuck and I'm going backwards, I'm dying. Is there a place that is someone could be too far gone for your system to help?
Yeah, I'll answer this one. And I'll say this, it all depends on the business owner and his or her ability to apply what we're going to teach them. I've been part of organizations that are literally a week from closing shop, and we've been able to turn them around. Willie's, we were at a point where we couldn't make payroll. And
I had to borrow private money to make payroll.
And so, yes, and I've had the pleasure of working with an organization just recently over the last year that was in the same boat, couldn't make payroll, was about to close doors. The business owner was stressed to the next level. And within a year, really within weeks and months, we restructured the organization to allow for some cash flow breathing space. We got rid of a lot of bad apples from the organization that didn't need to be there. And we really got the organization back on track, so to speak. And within the year, it had such a turnaround that by the fourth quarter, it was starting to pay down debt, and it continues to do so today. That's the live world examples to say you're never done until you're done.
I like that good answer. I want to value everybody's time. I know we're 1 minute to the hour, and you said this was a 1 hour deal, and I know there's a hockey game to watch. but
Absolutely.
but
Yeah.
So I'll have to turn it over to you, Willie, and you, Hector, and where do we go from here? What's the next step? And you made a comment about a link somewhere, and I don't know where that link is. So what do we do next?
Yeah, Willie, why don't you post that link? And what I'd say is, folks, if you're on this call, we're excited to have you become part of our community. Willie's about to post the link here. It's a 14-day free trial to become part of that inner circle community, where we will be, again, providing many tools for the team members, but more importantly as well, as you'll be actively involved in this every Thursday night meeting, where we're going to deep dive, dissect, and teach you the particular teachings of that night, which would be, again, various courses, various tools for you to apply for your business and your teams.
And I see Willie just popped that link into the chat, not the Q&A, but the chat. I clicked on it, worked on my end. It takes us to a landing page. So next best step from here after we say goodbye is to click on that link and just follow. There's some instruction there, and there's some more info there. We just fill in the fields, follow the instructions, and bada boom, we get 14 days free.
That's it. That's exactly it. 14 days, get started, come join us, be part of the community. And I look forward to challenging you on our point system, and hopefully we get you on a helicopter or plane ride soon.
Maybe Willie will drive us to the helicopter in that
That's
Corvette
right.
that I saw a picture of, and then we get to get in the air.
That's exactly it.
And one thing, Mark, who trained me on the helicopter, is on the call.
Wow.
So maybe he can tell the group if I'm a safe pilot or not. Mark, you care to jump on, or are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I can.
Yeah,
How are
I
you?
think we're all pretty safe with we can ride on the ground or in the air.
There you go.
Mark is an amazing helicopter trainer, instructor. If anyone is thinking of getting their helicopter license, this is the guy you need to call.
Amazing. Awesome. Alan, thank you so much for helping us steer the group tonight. And again, everyone, thank you for being part of our launch call. We look forward to having you join the community and see you here next Thursday night. So don't forget to click on that link, and let's get you to be part of our community.
I love
Thank
it.
you, guys.
Everyone.
I'm clicking the link right now. Good night,
There
y'all.
you go. Have a good night.
Thank
Thank you.
you.